Hello po, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Sa ating pong pinakamamahal na Fs ng research, Ma'am Corazon Abante. Amin pong napakasipag na PSDS, Ma'am Vivian. Sa mga kasamahan ko pong principal at sa inyong mga nagigiting na mga guro ng Bicpaculaw South, magandang umaga. Ito po yung output ko po na pinagtiyagaan na ginawa sa tulong po ni Ma'am Vivian. Huwag niyo na pong itanong kung ilang beses bumalik ito at ilang beses ding pinarevise ni Ma'am Cora, lalo na yung title. Anyway, ito na po yung final. Ito na po yung kanilang na-approve. So, very thankful naman po ako sa kabila po ng pagtsatsaga ay natapos din. Ito po, the parent engagement in modular distance learning, basis for proposed school parent support system. Ito pong title na ito ay pumasok sa isipan ko nung panahon po ng pandemic. Sabi po nga nila, panahon ng pandemic ay mag-iisip tayo ng mga paraan paano po maituloy ang ating serbisyo sa ating mga bata. Kaya ito po ang aking napag-isipang title. Then, education describes the act or process of acquiring or imparting knowledge, developing the power of reasoning or judgment, and generally of preparing oneself or others intellectually for a better life. While basic education is a program of instruction which evolves and is intended to provide students with an opportune occasion to become responsible and respectful global citizens, contributing to their economic well-being and that one of their families and communities explore and understand different perspectives and to enjoy productive and, satisfying lives. It is a commitment to provide quality education and a strengthen educational achievement for the students and give them the opportunity to attain personal and academic success. Under Section 6, Chapter 1 of Republic Act Number 9155 or the Governance of Basic Education Act of 2001. Department of Education is vested with the authority, accountability, and responsibility for ensuring access to, promoting equity in, and improving the quality of basic education. Law, Philippines, October 20, 2020. As the country continues to confront different issues brought about by the coronavirus pandemic, the Department of Education is addressing an intervention program that will respond basic education for school year 2020-2021 through its Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan under DepEd Order Number 12, Series 2020. The program ensures learning continuity through K-12 curriculum adjustment, alignment of learning materials, deployment of multiple learning delivery modalities, provision of corresponding training for teachers and school leaders, and proper orientation of parents or guardians of learners. As the 22nd century and as the coronavirus pandemic puts face-to-face learning to a halt, parents find themselves at the front lines of education. Parents have always played a crucial role in their children's emotional and intellectual development. They serve as their children's first teachers and give them stepping stones they need to adapt to life in school. They now have the important task of ensuring that their children receive quality education without compromising their safety. Also, education takes a minor hit as classrooms are forced to close their doors to eager students. Countless parents are stepping up to support their children who are adjusting to the new setup for the academic year 2020-2021. According to Manila Times Net, the Department of Education is responsible for the formulation, implementation, and coordination of policies, plans, programs, and projects in the area of formal and non-formal basic education. As stated in 1987 Philippine Constitution, Article 14, Section 1, that the state protects and promotes the rights of the child of all citizens to quality education at all levels, and to take appropriate steps to make such education accessible to all. And for continuity of learning despite of coronavirus pandemic, one of the DepEd program is modular learning. It is a form of distance. It is a form of distance learning that uses self-learning modules based on the most essential learning competencies, the MELCs, provided by the Department of Education. The modules include section on motivation and assessment that serve as a complete guide for both teachers and student desired competencies. According to HPPTS WW Clip Science News, the department has prepared webinars and training programs specific to parents to ensure that they are equipped with the necessary knowledge on helping their children for the new modular distance learning. This webinar also helped them with their physical, mental, and emotional health. Modular distance learning involves individualized instructions that allows learners to use self-learning modules, SLMS, in print or digital format, electronic copy, whichever is applicable in the content of the learner, and other learning resources like learners' materials, textbooks, activity sheets, study guide, and other study materials. Learners access electronic copies of learning materials on a computer, tablet, PC, or smartphone, CDs, USB, storage, and computer-based application can all be used to deliver e-learning materials, including offline. ebooks. The teacher takes the responsibility of monitoring the progress of the learners. The learners may ask assistance from the teacher via email, telephone, text message, instant messaging, and others. Where possible, the teacher shall do home visit to learners needing remediation or assistance. Any member of the family or other stakeholders in the community needs to serve as para-teacher, according to teacherph.com. However, although there are many suggestions to implement the distance learning, the new school of the author will be focusing on modular distance learning because there is no strong internet connection and most of the people have no gadgets for online distance learning. Moreover, based on the initial implementation of the modular distance learning in the first quarter, parents are having difficulty in the modular distance learning. They can't facilitate the learning to their children because they have no time, nor they don't know how to do, and if they don't have the sufficient knowledge of the lesson. These feedbacks from the parents and guardians are supported by the non-compliance of some parents in returning the modules, or the issue that answers in modules are ob- obviously done by parents or copied from the answers key only. There are also feedback from some children don't follow their parents' instruction to answer the modules, or they don't know how to motivate their children to answer in a study. There are also frustrated or non-readers in primary that parents should be trained on how to facilitate since any face-to-face with teacher is discouraged. With this feedback and problems, the proponents would like to deeply analyze the parents and guardian practices, styles, problems, issues, and tasks on this modular distance learning, and eventually a proposed project that will improve their practices and behavior and eventually develop a vigorous action, love, and engagement in modular distance learning for the education of their children during pandemic. The conceptual framework. This study based on the concept of MKOs, the more knowledgeable others, in which parents and guardians face various challenges in fulfilling their roles as more knowledgeable other. The very first challenge lies in the fact that parents and guardians have varying skills, knowledge, and qualifications. Filipino adults are literate enough to be functional to the community. It does not mean they are already qualified to teach. To ensure the content uniformity, equality, and quality, teachers should deliver while aided by their parents. Existing research also shows the interconnectedness of parents' educational level and their income. Educated parents earn more and can escape poverty and benefit from a better quality of life. Furthermore, parents' educational attainment can heighten their feelings of competence and confidence in guiding their children's education. It manifests in different ways, such as being more proactive in checking their child's performance through parents teachers associations meetings, providing their child's educational necessities in other parental educational duties. Another challenge pertains to children's ability to learn by imitation. In social learning theory, behaviorist Albert Ventura says that learners learn by imitation, observation, and modeling. With parents as the primary models of learners, their attitudes, specific beliefs, thoughts, and feelings, cognitive biases may affect its learner's learning process. It may be intentionally or unintentionally shown or taught by the MTOs, depending on their understanding of a particular lesson or subject matter. One instance can be when a creationist parent, a parent or who religiously believes that all things originated from divine creation, is against their child learning a science lesson on evolution. More knowledgeable others, commonly known as NPOs, plays a vital role in the learning process of the children. Children having preferred MKOs will be the greatest challenge because their learning depends on their attachment of the MPOs. They are the ones who will assist in making their assignment in module activity. Some children like to be taught by their mother or father, or sometimes by their older siblings. A conducive learning environment, suitable and safe space learning are great factors for the children to learn better. This conducive space should come with a warm atmosphere for the learner to love learning, even at home. MKOs differs in terms of expertise, educational background, cognitive biases, and emotional connection to the learners. It is according to W. Flip Science PH. A director from Ateneo Teacher Center named Rita Atienza cited its solutions and recommendation for the new learning system. According to Atienza, these creases will replace the overlight focus on teaching a lot of content and will eventually bring forth major changes from the old education system. He added that education should focusing not on the big picture concept but to minute details. We are always concerned with the correct answer. We need to move into higher order thinking. Moreover, he said that there is room to decongest further because basic literacy must receive more attention as essential competency. This is according to Ms. Rita Atienza in the interview for WW Science PH. The roles and responsibility of the identified NPOs on the household will play a vital role, effective guidance, because it will address the parents' inability and availability due to work and will help the clear misconceptions. Achensa recommends giving parents guidance for the monthly materials. However, Achensa cited that NPOs does not have to be very educated as long as NPOs know how to teach students such as time management, study skills, and what to do if the student doesn't know what to do. As Atienza suggested that if possible, the MPOs can be given training in other ways and should strive to cultivate independent student learning, student learning. And lastly, aside from the learning content, the system should strive to cultivate independent student learning. He highlighted that students should be guided in understanding what the learning module is all about. Finding ways for NPOs who have their weak points in subjects such as math and science to other NPOs who are good and will able to help them deliver the simplest way that they can. Atienza cited. Today's greatest challenges is the consistency of implementation of the program and the improvement of existing policies. Difficulties arises as time goes by. Parents were attacked by the reality that they cannot be always the more knowledgeable other or the MTOs or someone who has the better understanding or higher ability level than the learner concerning a particular task, process, or concept, according to Manlangit and others. Published October 5, 2020. Also cited that as MPOs, parents or guardians should be observed the following. Parents or guardians should be responsible for interacting with teachers, barangay representative, and other stakeholders to acquire the various materials and resources needed by the learners. Regularly check the child's work week plan and make sure that their child sticks to their schedule. Prepare a conducive learning study space for their child and give appropriate praise, encouragement, and rewards their child's motivation to learn. Those are things to consider for having a successful modular distance learning. Being an advocate of basic education, the researcher knew how important learning is for the students. Parents is the hand-to-hand partner of educating the children. We have to come up with a sound plan for the efficient engagement of parents in the learning process. The researchers want to conduct this study to know the practices and difficulties in modular distance learning of Emetario and Carino Elementary School in Maligaya Elementary School, Tipaculao, Aurora. Parents or guardian. The level of parents' engagement and what intervention can be applied to those difficulties. The conceptual paradigm below illustrates the concept of the study with its direction, linking to proposed school parent support system for learning engagement of pupils and their guardian. The study is represented by this paradigm. The parents' engagement level and the challenges are assessed. A proposed school parent support system composed of mentoring, coaching, a parent's learning action cell or the PLAC, counseling, online monitoring, and activities home visitation will be implemented. Research questions. The main objective of the study is to describe the parents' engagement in the modular distance learning of learners at Ontario M. Quirino and Maligaya Elementary school year 2020-2021. It attempts to answer the following specific questions. Number one is, how may the parents' engagement in the modular distance learning be described? Number two, what are the challenges of the parents in modular distance learning? Number three, what support system activities can be proposed to improve the implementation of distance learning as perceived by parents? Scope and limitation. This study aims to determine the level of parents' engagement in modular distance learning. The study will focus on the two schools of proponents, the EMQ and Maligaya, parents or guardian in the distance modular learning for the fourth quarter this school year. The type of research. This study will use the descriptive research to determine the level of parents' engagement in modular distance learning. Descriptive research aims to accurately and systematically describe a population, situation, or phenomenon. It is appropriate choice when the research aims to identify characteristics, frequencies, trends, and categories. According to Mac Conves S. 2019. The participants of this study will be 100 randomly selected parents or guardians of AMQ and Maligaya Elementary School from grade 1 to grade 6 grade level. EMQES, total number of parents of 164. I select 67 parents. Maligaya ES, 90. Number of parents and selected parents is 33. In a total of 100 parents. Sampling methods. The study will use the random sampling to select the participants. Stratified random sampling using the grade level of the strata. Random number will be used to identify the respondent. The sources of data will be coming from the feedback forms and other provided questions for the parents or guardian, and an additional information will be coming from teachers. An interview through call or video call will be done to get specific details needed. Questionnaires developed by the researcher will be utilized to be filled up by the parents. It could be done using a link for questionnaire, video calls, and through the feedback form. And an instrumental interview will be conducted also for validity of the response. The questionnaire will be validated by the expert. The data collection is the process of gathering and measuring information on variables of interest in an established systematic fashion that enables one to answer stated research questions. To facilitate effective data gathering during COVID-19 pandemic, the guidelines on health protocol from Department of Health should be observed all the times. Permit from IATF will be secured before conducting an interview to the respondent. The researcher will seek permission to parent respondent via group chat, messenger, or Gmail, request letter, a permit letter, and medical health certificate was presented to the concerned parents before administering the questionnaire. The link for the questionnaire in Google Form will be sent through Gmail or Messenger, and an interview will be conducted through phone call or video calls. The responses will be listed using appropriate coding system, and data will be tabulated for better presentation. To safeguard the privacy and confidentiality of the respondent, the response of the participants on the survey conducted will be deleted once the data have been collected and tabulated. The Regional Memorandum 228 series 2020 and Regional Memo number 185 series 2020 harmonize resource aid agenda region 3 in the guidelines on debit order number 16 series 2017 entitled Research Guidelines and Policy Act of 2020 will serve as guidelines on preparing this research. The profile of the ethical consideration on preparing a research. The profile of parents or guardian will be confidential. Permit from the barangay captain will be secured, and the results will be confidential and will serve only as intellectual information that can be used in the improvement of educating the younger generation. Maximum confidentiality to the profile of parents shall be practiced, ensuring research ethics and rules were will religiously observed to avoid problems that may arise, like plagiarism, intellectual dishonesty, and other related issues. Data analysis and dealing with the statistical data of the study, the researcher applied the mean of Likert scale to identify the level of parents' engagement on modular distance learning. Ayan. Dito naman sa Likert scale na ito po ay tinuro po sa akin ni Sir Ellery. Through Sir Ellery, natutuhan ko po ito. Thank you po. Formula F, mean equals WF over N, where M is the mean, the WF is the weights multiplied by the respective frequencies, and N is the number of the respondent. Ito po yung medyo na-revise din po uli dahil sa schedule ng pag-gather ng mga data at saka yung pag-approve po ng proposal ko noon. Itong work plan, Gantt chart for the research with January 2020 is to gather data on learning continuity plan. Consultation meetings with the teachers, ganun po. Then, March to May is to prepare the questionnaire and pilot testing. Then, observation to different classes. To conduct different observation, interview, and monitor weekly distribution and retrieval of modules. By June 2021, to gather data from parents. To conduct the technical assistance to parents, teachers, and learners. July, validate the response of the parents. Interview for the parents. Then by August is to propose an activities for improvement on modular learning. Provide program activities suited to needs of parents on modular. By September po to November ay finalization of the research output, writes up of the research. Supposed to be ay nasa writes up na po ako ngayon as of November. December is to cascade the result of the research. Then the presentation of the research. So, yung finance, hindi na po. Then, plan for dissemination and utilization. The final research paper will be presented in school, district, and school division office of Aurora. The final output will serve as a good basis for the improvement and eventually implementation of the improved learning continuity plan in every school. The researcher will conduct mentoring, providing technical assistance as needed. So, next po dyan is the references na po. Then, others. So, yung the body of the proposal lang po yung M% ko. At wala pa naman po akong write up, wala pa pong discussion. Kasalukuyan po, nagpapati pa lang po ako kay Ma'am Vivian. And sa statistics ay magpapati pa lang po ako kay Sir Ellen. So, yun lamang po. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pakikinig. Thank you very much.